Hi everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. I've been working out here for a little bit. Now it's time to head into the other shed because there's a lot of work to do in there. And I hate to say I was right, but there are two things. One of the things I really do hate to say I was right, but it's pretty telling and I want to talk about that. But this is going to be like an old-fashioned video here today because we have a bunch of sales headed out of here today and we're going to have to roll through them. So thank you for joining us. Let's go take a look. I stopped to play like 2 minutes, well maybe 3 or 4, of basketball. Turner, I'm already winded. I'm getting old. Y'all, this last weekend right here is what I consider the beginning of the garage sale season around here because there's a citywide sale that kind of marks it. It's about 45 minutes south and Turner always has a tournament. And I hit that sale and then I keep going south to watch this tournament. This is a Michael Kors bag. Matter of fact, this bag I bought from that location last year, and it just sold now. But you know what? I'm pretty happy because this one sold for good money. $69.95 plus shipping. So we are going to talk about the topic today. I told you so today. But one of them will be kind of self-evident throughout the video. The other one has to do with the video that I posted last week about complaining. And I want to talk about that a little bit because I think what happened is interesting. We sold this little Garfield tie. I bought a huge thing of ties, like a giant bin of ties for $5. And there were 2 ties we sold off. One's already sold. This one sold as well. This one sold for $11.95 plus shipping. And the rest we sold on Shop Commons. Y'all are going to see some eclectic stuff today. There's 30 sales. Let me see. I wrote this down. 30 sales for $1,321.31 headed out of here today. Which for this day of the week, this is usually my slowest day shipping. And it is by far my busiest day shipping this week. So, I don't know. I'm super excited the way things are going. We'll talk a little bit about numbers, but I'm going to save that for next week because that's when all the numbers I usually post at the end of the month. You know, here's my goals. This is where we're hitting. And I want to look at that because we've been down so far this year. And this one is going to be over where we want to be, and we're finally gaining ground on the ground we lost the first 2 months. So I'm not a huge seller of ties, never have been, and so I just pulled literally 2 ties out of there, and then the rest we sold on Commons, and we are well into the profit on that $5 buy. If it wasn't for Commons, I would not have made that purchase. So that's been helping. That's kind of the overall scheme of things. We're getting more productive with more merchandise selling on 2 different platforms. Technically, we're selling on more than 2 platforms, and I'm kind of lumping in Commons and Dibbed It threads and Dibbed It cards and all that stuff. Here's a cool buy, y'all. See, I told you it's gonna be eclectic. By the end of this video, this thing's gonna be full of stuff, all different stuff. A purse for 70, this for 12. This was one of those buys. I saw them and I'm like, those are cool. Those old jelly shoes. I saw them like made in France or something. I saw a name. I tried to look them up. Couldn't find anything. They were $1 a piece. I'm like, shoot, I'm gonna buy them because there was 2 pairs. And I just listed them, and I had the only listing out there like this, and it sold on offer $28.45 plus shipping. There you can see I'm in the spring mood right here. I love it. I'm gonna go out there and get my, well, I don't have to show it to you, but my chair and put it underneath the tree. We cut down some limbs. My office is outside in the spring. I usually go out there and I start my morning off with a bunch of listings and doing social media work and work with the Dibbed Its and all those different marketplaces. And I'm going to be able to do it underneath that tree now. So after I'm done with this video today, I'm pulling out my 2 little zero gravity chairs. I'm super excited. Garage sales are back. I hope you guys are excited if you live in a place like I do. If you're in these other places, it's been rolling for a while. And if you're way up north, it still isn't rolling. This one's been here for a while, y'all. And it had this case with it. It's a Bible, and it must have been a good one. I can't even remember. That's how long it's been here. It's kind of dusty. I'll have to clean it off before I ship it. Trying to get it open with one hand. I got too many sales to be doing this today. But this Bible, I got to know what it is when I'm looking at it. It's a little burgundy. It's got dust on the inside. Let me just read it to you. Looks like it's the Open Bible, Expanded Edition, New King James Version from Zondervan. And it sold for $55.99 plus shipping. That actually got me thinking about another topic I wanted to throw in. I'll throw it in here really quick, and we'll get to the other ones and all these sales. That Bible sold for that price on 30% off, which is crazy. So that must have been a really, really good Bible, but it's been around here forever. So I think I overpriced it. A lot of my sales today are older items, like really old, like a year old. So they went off on 30% off. And really, y'all, I really am convinced more and more, the more I do this, that price is the main driver. Assuming everything else is fine, titles are good, pictures are good, and all that stuff, that price is driving. It is the motivating factor right now. It always is, but right now especially. And I think that that's causing a lot of those old items and our sell-through rate to go up. And the new items we're putting out there are going at full price and selling pretty quickly as well. And this is all coming together pretty well for us. It's why I love that system. A lot of people don't like my don't put anything on sale until 30% off and then put it on 30% off. And I think it works out the best for us. I'm not saying it's good for everybody, but for us right now, price is king as far as sales. If we put something out there at a good solid price with good affordable shipping, it's going pretty quickly. Somebody came in and grabbed a bunch of different NWO stuff. I don't know that it's a viewer, but I'm going to say that it is, just in case. Hold on. The name is Gerald. So Gerald, thank you. I appreciate it if you are a viewer. But sometimes, you know, people just come in and they bundle it up and get a cheaper deal because it's bundled. This, wait a minute, Goldberg? I think there's one that didn't sell. It might be Goldberg that didn't sell. Nobody likes Goldberg, apparently. That is a Nitro. That is a Kevin Nash. This one here is probably the Sting. And so these three sold along with, so those are little skull caps, but they also came in and bought one of these, if I can find it. It was in this bin. It's a Stone Cold, a little vintage Stone Cold from, what year is that? I don't see it on there. WWF Steve Austin bandana. And all of that combined went out for 40, I don't know, what did it go for? $42.59 for that lot right there. I'll take it. So technically, when we get to the end of this, there's 30 transactions, but there are far more sales than that because there are multiples. Like that one was 4 different items. So this was a really good 2-day stretch of sales. I'm super excited. It gets me really motivated to get more out there and get it listed, because for us right now, and I know it's not always the case for everybody, you know, when mine are down, some other people's are up and vice versa, but we're rolling right now. And I've got more merchandise, more inventory than I've ever had at this point. As we go into garage sale season, I've got good stuff that hasn't been listed. I'm super excited about it. It's actually why I spent quite a bit of time out here today. It's like stuff selling, I want to get more up. All right, I gotta get the ladder here. This is something I would not normally pick up, y'all. They're just milk glass bowls, but this was part of a clean out. And the clean out was basically everything was free. So I was like, all right, we'll do it. And so we sold these 2 little milk glass candy dishes, I guess. And they sold for $14 plus shipping. Oh, it's so nice. I love the spring. I was a baseball player and that got me excited for spring. And now I'm a garage seller for a living, and that gets me excited. So about this video I did the other day, I made a little prediction and it kind of came true, and it doesn't surprise me. And I want to talk about it for just a second. Yahtzee electronic handle. This is the black version. I've sold, there was 5 of these we got in a lot and paid next to nothing because it was in a giant bundle. And we've sold the lowest ones, like this one, are selling for $19.95 plus shipping, and then the clear one's $24.95, and then one model is like $29. So that was crazy, like $120 worth of sales when that one sells back there. And we only paid 40 bucks for a giant lot of stuff at a sale. So I did a video, not something I typically do. If you've noticed lately, there's been a little bit of a shift in the way I kind of treat some issues in here. And I know that when I do that, there'll probably be less people that watch. I will probably lose subscribers. But I feel like at this point in reselling, I think it's super important. And I just decided I was going to do it. And I said in the video, when I did that video, I said, you know, well, most of you watched it, but it was basically the dangers of being a complainer. Not dismissing the fact that there are legitimate complaints and things should be complained about it, but it should be accompanied with some kind of action. I said that I would lose subscribers on that video, and I did. And I did. So there are far fewer, well, not far fewer. Most videos, if you're familiar with YouTube at all, you know, when I talk about losing subscribers, it's not like my total subscribers go down, because they're always going up because I've got so many videos and people are always subscribing. But on that particular video, there were more people who unsubscribed than subscribed on that particular video. And I knew it was going to happen. I said it in the video. And there were tons of amazing comments and great folks leaving good comments for me. And I really do appreciate that. But, you know, really what it is the people that don't like it, they don't want to complain on a video about complainers. And so they don't leave those negative comments in there. Because then other people are like, oh, well, this is that person. And so what happened is they total up the thumbs up and, you know, how much approve of this video. And my videos are usually pretty high in the, 99% or something like that, because I don't get too controversial. But for that one, it was the lowest video I can remember as far as approval on a video that I feel strongly about. And I knew that was going to happen, but that'll just tell you, y'all, there's a lot of folks out there who want to be in that camp. They want, misery loves company. They just want to be in that. And I've just made a decision I don't want to do that. You will hear complaints from me. You will see titles. You will see things that I don't think are good. You'll see all that stuff. But the overall mindset, for me anyways, is of gratitude and thankfulness and optimism. For the most part, there will be exceptions. You know, I just like to surround myself with folks that are like me, like a lot of you are. This one's cool, and I just had another sale come across, which was just absolutely blows my mind. I'm gonna have to show. I'll cut ahead. I'll put it in earlier in the video. It's a Polly Pocket. I picked this one up. I think I picked this one up down in Florida in January. I think. No, this one on 30% off. I picked this up at a yard sale here locally last year. And it did not sell. And it does have the figures, but it finally did sell on 30% off for 28 bucks, right around there, plus shipping. Before I started filming today, I put that Pillsbury Doughboy cookie jar up there, and I took out something else that wasn't listed. And, you know, sometimes you have that stuff. It's like, why is this still here? And when I was up here, I was looking at this phone, and I'm like, why? I'm like, I don't even remember seeing this. You know, it's not something I've relisted. It's not something like that. I'm like, I wonder if that thing's even listed at all. Haven't thought about it or looked at it in months on end, and lo and behold, it just sold, which is crazy. You know, they say sometimes you just gotta go around touching items, and if you touch the item, it'll sell. This sold on 30% off as well, $24.47 plus shipping. And I've also been pretty up on reselling in general on a macro sense lately. And some people, for whatever reason, strangely enough, don't like to hear that. And I get it. If things aren't going well for you, then sometimes you don't want to hear it. I gotta find these shoes. I'm not even sure where they're at. I had to pull out the other bin right here, some Nikes. And these sold, they're used, but in great shape. These sold for 30 bucks plus shipping. And these went to a viewer. And by the way, I'm only reading things that viewers leave if they leave a message on the purchase itself. So there may be some viewer sales in here today that I don't read. It's just hard to tell sometimes. So sorry if you bought something and left a message somewhere else, but if it's on the purchase, I'll read it. This one says, hi, my family and I are viewers and fans. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I've recently become a full-time reseller, and I'm gearing up to try live selling, hopefully on Dibdit.com or Dibdit Threads or whatever you sell. We try to support sellers over there. It doesn't always work out for the sellers, but we do our best and kind of walk you through it. So kind of terrifies me, they say. But as a former journalist and educator, I imagine I'll find a way to entertain an audience. Teachers have a knack. Well, good teachers have a knack for that. We've all been through some bad teachers, and it's like, oh my goodness. It's like watching paint dry. Those shoes are for my daughter. She loves them, and often complains she only has the black shoes like that. 6th grade, huh? Anyway, keep on keeping on. Mention my store if you want. Plastic Pop KLTR. Appreciate y'all. Scott, appreciate you. Y'all, I am almost always generally bullish on the macro sense of reselling. Always. But I am particularly right now, and it has to do a lot of what I'm hearing, and a lot of the back channel stuff I hear and talk to people and full-timers, and it's getting me excited a little bit, and I'm getting a lot of good feedback. I still get messages, people like, this was the worst week ever, this was whatever, and I get it. It's not always good for everybody. But just generally in a bigger picture, as opposed to looking at those trees right now, just taking a big look at the forest, I'm feeling pretty good about reselling right now. And I gotta be honest with you, it mostly is to the messages. I get messages on all platforms and comments and stuff, and there's a lot of folks out there saying they're finding some success right now. So hopefully that is true for you, and if it's not, I hope it changes quickly. Duke Blue Devils, March Madness is over, but $14.95 plus shipping. Can I tell you a little story? I used to play college baseball. We played Duke one year. It was like the first game of the year that wasn't like a travel thing. It was cold. And we played down at Duke. And I remember because I got to play this game. I didn't always play, didn't always start. And we were facing a lefty pitcher, which meant I was a right-handed hitter, and I wasn't a great hitter. So I got to play against lefties that year quite a bit. And then the other second baseman was a left-handed hitter, and he'd play against all the righties. There's more righties. Anyway, what am I telling you this story for? I guess I'm telling you because we played them the same day that it was the last game of the year, Duke versus Carolina. And let me tell you what, that was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. We had to walk a country mile to get to the baseball. There was no parking anywhere. I was like, this is craziness. There was people everywhere. That's the closest I've ever came to a Cameron indoor game. And I'm kind of glad I wasn't inside. I'll tell you all, it is an eclectic day. Check out that one right there. The cover itself makes this toaster. And I think it's a 4-slice Proctor Silex. Is that how you pronounce that? I always pronounce it wrong. It's a Mary Proctor 4-slice with the cover on it, and that's sold. And look, it's not even in great condition. It's not bad though, and it's working. That thing sold for $50 plus shipping. And to be honest with you, it's springtime, and I sold all this stuff, and no hats sold. Springtime is usually when those hat sales start to go back up. But this pair of pants, I think I bought these off of Dibbed It. Pretty certain that I did, or not Dibbed It, but Dibbed It Threads. And I was like, those are brand new with tags. And so check that out right there, brand new with tags, polo pants. And these sold, I probably paid, I don't know, $6, $8, $10 maybe, I'm not quite sure. They sold for $56.05 plus shipping. Sold this turntable really quickly, probably undersold, to be honest with you. I took an offer on it, and I was like, I don't know. I was just in such a selling mood, and it does have some scratching on it. And we took an offer, $67, somewhere around there, I think, plus shipping. I told you these sales are absolutely all over the place today, which is what I love because I sell just about everything. This is a little like AC train controller, which I don't know much about. I wish I knew more about trains, but I don't. But I know enough to buy stuff when I need to. $29.95 plus shipping. Looks like I just had some buddies come in. Huh? Did Mama leave or something? All right, what am I going? Oh, here it is right here. I pulled it out earlier. Herbalife. This was one I almost regretted picking up. I'm like, really? I was like, this thing looks cool. It's new. It's got the little cardboard thing on it. It's a little sling bag looking thing. And I was like, that looks nice. And it was cheap. Got the plastic on it. And then I saw Herbalife on it. Herbalife Nutrition. I'm like, I don't know if that's good or not. But for the price, I said, what the heck? I looked it up, and we listed it for $16.95 plus shipping, and it sold pretty quick. And we sold the very last of one of the particular type of Harley Davidson belts back here. So this has been a slow-moving box. All right, I'm looking for that style of belt, but it is an extra small, so I might have to get in here and dig because there's only one extra small. All right, I dug it out of there. I spared you the video and the clanking and the clanging. This is an extra small Harley belt. And we still got a bunch of smalls left, but these are going for $20.99. Got another one of these wrestling lots to somebody different. This one is a viewer. I know that for certain on this one. There's a Nitro and a Sting. It's Laney is the name, so thank you, Laney. But it's been a pickup in the wrestling stuff. The wrestling world is coming back, apparently. So those two, and another one of these right here, sold. So that's a nice little bundle right there. And just over $30, I think, for those. Thank you, Lenny. And you did leave a message here. Buyer's note, I've been a longtime follower of your channel, and you are one of the inspirations to me creating my own channel. If you have any more wrestling-themed skull caps, yes. We have two different, well, we've got three, I think. No, we've got two. We've got the Goldberg one, and There's a red one in there too. I can't remember what it is. I work in surgery and it's hard to find wrestling themed surgical caps. That's pretty funny. Thank you for being an inspiration as a reseller and content creator. Thank you. Yesteryear Memories is the name of your eBay store. Next one is something I haven't sold in a while. And I was at the flea market in Florida, and I was like, oh, I'll ask him if it's super cheap, I'll buy it. This is the ThighMaster LBX, and they're like $2. I'm like, all right, I'll do it. $22.95 plus shipping. Back when I used to do, well, when all of us used to do a lot more Priority Mail shipping, I used to take the Priority Mail shoe boxes and push 2 together and put those in there. But I haven't even bought one since I stopped doing Priority Mail shipping. I bought a giant lot at the end of last year. Well, no, it's quite a while ago at this point, of pearl snaps from Chernox Connection over on Shop Commons. And a lot of them sold really quickly for good money. I think I'm into them for like $2.50 a piece with shipping and everything. And so some of them just aren't going to be quite as good. This is Plains Western Wear Pearl Snap long sleeve. And we paired it with the Reseller by Wrangler Pearl Snap short sleeve because they're the same size. And they still didn't sell. And so we finally got a sale for $14 plus shipping. And so even on the ones that are tough, so that's $5 into $14 plus shipping. That's not where I want to be. However, there were so many good ones in there that I was getting $15, $20 for singles that sometimes you got to do that to buy that whole lot. So thank you, Chernock. All right, this is a strange lot. Linda, I didn't see a message, but Linda, I think you've got to be a viewer. I guess, because this is a strange collection of stuff here. This is funny. I bought these literally as a joke years ago. I did a little short video in Goodwill to put on TikTok, and I thought it'd be kind of funny. And surprisingly, they have sold over time. I bought a giant bag of these for 99 cents total for the whole bag. And there were like 3 times this amount. Of vintage Summer's Eve feminine body bar. Vintage soap. And we had them listed for like 12 plus shipping for 2. I think they're at that 30% off, so it's like under 9 plus shipping for these. But like I said, 99 cents for like, I don't know, 50. I don't know how many there were. There was a bunch. I was like, yeah, what the heck? And I thought I'd make a funny video out of it, and it did okay. The video did okay. But that lot right there is going to be coupled with, this one was cool. I paid up for this one. This one is a Baloo. I love Baloo, one of my favorite characters in all of Disney World. Disney, not Disney World, in the world of Disney, I don't know. But Baloo with the old tag, Disneyland tag right there. 22 way back in the day, right? That's a nice plush. So I have to look up to see how much. I paid $5 for it, so we'll see what it sold for. It sold for $24.95. And y'all, what I do with these sometimes, with those old tags, because there's so many Baloo stuffed animals out there, but people are looking for the vintage, is sometimes I'll do a little trick. I guess it's a trick. And I'll take a picture of the tag, just like this, and that'll be my cover photo with the tag. Like it's his face and that, so that they see it's that vintage tag right there. And a lot of times that'll help you sell the thing. And I do that with a lot of items. You'd be surprised, you know, instead of taking the front of a t-shirt, you take the back hit. There's all kinds of little things like that to make your cover photo stand out when there's tons of stuff. You know, if you look up Baloo plush, I mean, they're going to all look basically the same. So, and you can't even tell the size. So something to make it stand out, to get somebody to click on it sometimes works. I don't know if it did this time or not, but that's a cool sale. So $5 into $25 for that plush. Pennies into $9 for those feminine body bars. And then she bought something else. And they sold some Annalee Pilgrim mice. I thought these were super cool. Annalee has slowed for us over the last 2 years. I don't know if that's true for all of you out there, but it has definitely slowed for us. But I still pick them up with the right price, and they had some tags on them. They'd probably sell better at Thanksgiving, obviously. But they didn't sell last Thanksgiving, and so they sold on 30% off for just under $19 plus shipping, and they went with this right here. So thank you again for that purchase. Haven't sold ET stuff in a while. Sold some ET earrings, the Flower Power earrings, the orange ones. Got the ET bin down. A little one of them on the outside to tell us what's on the inside. Here they are right there. These are the cheapest ones I think we sell. I think we have 70 some left, so these are slow sellers. I'll be retired by the time these are gone. 79 left, $4.89 plus shipping. See that Inaman trying to get out up there? You know, we have basically plundered everything Inaman so far. I'm hoping we have... Ooh, there's one right here. We're down to the nitty-gritty. If you want an original Inaman, we are running... So we have been running low. I never intended to sell that bin there at all, and we sold through that whole bin, and that's the only bin I have left. And apparently this one. So, I don't know how much longer this is going to go, but who bought this one? Melissa. Melissa grabbed this one. We do always have the number... This is the number 2. And this is the number 3 right there. It's the number 3 is a combination of the number 1 and the number 2. So, at any rate. And those are for sale, not on eBay. Those are for sale on CommonwealthPicker.com and over on Dibdit.com. And Reagan would love for you to buy one because she's in a slump. She wasn't in the last video. She's not going to be in this one because nobody's buying anything from Commonwealth Picker, which is fine. No pressure. I'm just telling you why she's not in the videos. Maybe we'll have to give her a different segment or something. Or maybe I'll have to put the last of these on auction on Dibdit, and then she can, because she does the Dibdit merch sales and the CommonwealthPicker.com merch sales, and she gets a portion. We do a charity thing with it and all that. And we've got 3 stickers. Whenever we sell these, we put one of each of the die cast in there. The die cut stickers in there. Not that one, this one. And they go in that. So thank you to, what did I say, Melinda? This next one I love, and it did not last long. I probably could have got a little bit more, but you might remember a sale in Florida that a guy had tons of shirts. And they're all button-up, short sleeve. A lot of them were denim and flower, and they were all exactly the same size, and they were $1 a piece. And I'm like, do I really want to sell shirts for, you know, 10 bucks, 12 bucks, sometimes 15, go through everything, or do I just want to bundle 8 same size, same brand shirts together in one bundle and sell them? So I paid $8 for that bundle, and they sold for $49 plus shipping. I don't know, some quick math, it's like $32, $33, $34 maybe, somewhere around that. $34 profit. And it takes a little time to do that for those. Plus I bought some for myself too, so that's always a good excuse when you're out there buying. And those right there, you know, I don't know, probably all in on those because you got to lay them out and different pictures and stuff. Takes a little longer, but for that profit, you're still making like 70, 80 bucks an hour on something like that. Definitely worth it for me. So the Joe Rocket jackets, some of these go pretty good. This one is, you know, it's a mesh one. It's not amazing. That one sold, I think, for $35 plus shipping. So spring definitely has sprung, and our yard banners have been selling a little better than usual. I haven't been picking them up as much as I used to. And I still usually don't pick them up for more than $1 or so. That is it right there. Oh, you know what? I think I've skipped one. I think I have. Y'all, there's an awesome sale in here. I'll have to show it to you. So this one I paid $1 for, and it sold for $12.30 plus shipping. Y'all, I don't know how I forgot this sale. This was also, so there's like 3 or 4 things in here that I sourced this winter or before over on either Shop Commons or on Dibdit or Dibdit Threads or wherever. Just adding that to my repertoire. Now, you know, you can't go over there and buy everything and think everything's going to make a profit, but if you're smart, you can definitely make money over there. And I really do think that that is going to be a main sourcing technique for me in the future. And it's not just because it's my own site over there. Y'all really, tell me your stories in the comments if you have been sourcing over there, because I get them all the time. This one is awesome. I don't remember exactly what I paid. I can remember at garage sales like crazy, but I have a hard time remembering sometimes when I'm on those Dibdit marketplaces. Y'all, if you have not gone over there, even if you're not planning on buying, even if you don't like live selling, even if all that stuff, I would appreciate it greatly if you go check out some of those marketplaces and just show us a little support and love. We're trying to do something that's really hard and fight against the big boys and grow it, and we have been very successful so far thanks to so many of you. This is, I'm trying to show you this, I'm wasting time. Macho Man blanket. I don't know, I might have paid 20 for it. I can't even remember. But that thing is cool. And I knew it would sell, and it did sell. It sold for 50 bucks plus shipping. I have to give a thank you to Carolyn here, because I believe you're a viewer, because it's you bought more than one thing. But I don't see a message on here. So I'll show you the first 2 really quick. I'll go in and get them. You know, stuff sells out of season, obviously. But I prioritize in-season stuff. And one of these just got listed. Final Four 2008 Kansas. And that one sold for $14.95 plus shipping. And then this one I've had for a long time. It's like a Duke basketball like practice Dodger made in the USA. I bought it at a sale over a year ago for $1, maybe $2. I can't remember exactly. I remember the sale, what it looked like, but I can't. I remember everything was expensive. But then he had one table of like $1 or $2. And I found this one in it. And I'm like, I can buy that. Sold for $24.95 plus shipping. I sold a JanSport backpack. These used to do really well for me. The tie-dyed trans JanSport backpacks. And I'll usually pick them up for $1 or $2. And they usually go for 15, sometimes 20, depending on the design. But this one did not sell. Went on 30% off. Sold for under 12 plus shipping. The next ones, I actually had them up ready for an auction that we were doing on dipditsports.com, but most of the people in there that day were just golf. And so I just started going through all the golf and we ran out of time. And I knew I wasn't going to do an auction over there for a couple of weeks. And these are, you know, perfect time of year to sell these. These are official ball. This is Florida State League, but these are essentially Major League Baseballs. They're the same exact design of them, and they go well. So if you ever see, you know, MILB, minor league, Major League Baseball's in good condition, pick them up because you can sell them individually for like $10 a piece plus shipping, believe it or not, in that kind of condition. But I decided to put all 4 of these together and sell them for $25 plus shipping. And you know, you pick them up for $1, 4 into $25 for something that easy plus shipping is a no-brainer. Next one I think was a lady arbitrage buy at the 127. I've told this story a few times. And they were traveling across country and they were buying, and so I bought a lot of their big stuff from them that they didn't want to haul back. More to help them out than to make money. And, you know, they made a little bit of money because they bought this stuff, and I'm making a little bit of money too and shipping it out and made things easier. There are 2 of these right here, canisters. So there's one inside. Didn't sell for a ton. They're Decoware kitchen canisters. There's 2. MCM. This one sold for $18 plus shipping. All right, y'all, had another sale. Plus, there's this Dutch boy thing that has given me great concern. There's a Dutch boy bobblehead. And I'll show you a picture of it because I haven't seen that thing in forever. And it might take me forever to find it. But Timothy bought a Nitro and the Sting, I think is what he bought, for $15.37. That Nitro? Nope, that's another Sting. I'm not sure I have a Nitro left. Any rate, this one and one more, and I'll find it in a minute. So for 15 plus, no, not plus shipping, $15.37 free shipping. All right, y'all, thank you for joining us as always. Sorry there's no kids in this video, and that's because there are no kids around. But I got to go pick one of them up right now. So thank you again. We appreciate you as always, and I can't wait to see you next time. Yeah.
Nice. Sorry. Gotta hit. Someone teach him how to